Hi everybody, today I'm going to do a black and white painting. It's classic, it's timeless, hopefully it's beautiful, but you might be thinking, what do you do with just black and just white? How do you make an interesting pour with just two different things? Well, I have a way that I've expanded the palette, and I want to show that to you right now. So here's my black. Just black paint mixed with pouring medium and a little bit of water. And then I always have plenty of white mixed up because I use white more than anything. White is a key to pour painting. Now to expand my palette, I have what's called a sparkling pearl. It reads as white, but it's a little grayish, so it's going to look different than the actual white. Now today I'm using Nova paint. It's my favorite paint. In fact, I use it every day, not just today. And this one is called Sparkling Pearl. This color is Payne's Gray. It's actually kind of bluish. I'm going to use a little bit of it in this painting, and it'll be kind of a different version of this black. Now I want to show you quickly, people ask, how much paint, how much pouring medium. When I'm using this Nova paint, I go about up to here with paint. And then I fill it up about to here with pouring medium. So the pouring medium is a vehicle to create more volume for paint, so you're not just having to use all your paint. And then I add just a little bit of water. I have a drinking straw. Just going to add about that much at a time. Again, this is a 5-ounce cup, so we're talking about very small amounts here. But I don't pour water into my cup because I end up pouring too much. So this needed to be watered down just a little bit, and that's the amounts that I work with. And then also I have about 8 drops of silicone in each of these colors. This is Treadmill Belt Lubricant. It's 100% silicone, non-toxic, odorless. I get it on Amazon. Everybody wants to know what this is. And this aids in the cells that everybody is seeking. You can get cells without silicone, but it's harder because you have to worry about your paint densities a little more. So this is more of a surefire way to get cells. And we're going to do the swipe technique today to get these cells to come up. So now I'm going to start pouring, and it's just going to be a little bit random. There's some black. Some Payne's Gray. There's the Sparkling Pearl. You see, I'm just very random here, not trying for any particular pattern. And there's not a lot of paint. I mean, there is a lot of paint on here, but when you do an absolute pour, it's not quite as much with this technique. So now I'm going to use my white. I'm going to pour it on the end here, but I'm also going to spread a little bit around. And then I have my little small spatula. This is already turning out nice, but I'm going to do the swipe. I'm just going lightly across the top without digging into the whole thing. I don't want to scrape the whole thing off. What happens is the silicone rises up through the paint and creates these cells. You can use a bigger tool and a longer tool and just take one swipe. I actually kind of enjoy this a little more, taking several swipes. It's a lot of fun when you see these cells come up. Now I'm going to look and see what I want to do here. I'm going to drag some of this black across here. It really wasn't showing up all that much. Don't worry, I'll smooth this out. This is kind of a hard line here, but I see the black was over here, so I thought, well, this Payne's gray is showing up more so than the black was, so I saw the black and I drug it over, but now I'm going to kind of smooth it out some. Again, you never know what's going to happen here. You definitely wing it for each painting, and then you look and you decide what you want to do, what you want to leave alone. Success, disaster, you don't know. So I was trying to incorporate this black. I see I kind of wiped it out a little bit, but it is showing here. I might see if I can get a few more cells right here. You don't really need a torch for this technique. If you have silicone, it kind of takes care of it. I'm just trying to soften this hard line that I made here. To make it look like it's kind of flowing. Let's see. These are kind of a little bit hard lines. They look a little too evenly spaced to me, so I'm going to see if I can make them do something a little bit different. So this is pretty cool. I don't need to do a whole lot else. I've got some quiet areas here. It's busier here. These cells have come up really nice. This should stay put. I think I'm going to drag this just a little bit. No real need to tilt, other than I still think these lines are a little bit straight. Just doing some very, very gentle tilting to make these lines a little less straight. So I think I'm going to stop right here. So in just a few minutes, look what has happened. With just black, Payne's gray, sparkling pearl, and some white. You have a nice contemporary black and white painting. Now, people have asked me about posting the paintings, what they look like when they're dry. And what I do is in a couple of days, I'll photograph this and I'll have it on my Instagram. So if you want to check out my Instagram at Caren Goodrich, Caren with the C, that's where you see these dried paintings. This should, when you use this pouring medium, this should stay put. I know people who mix paint with water, it tends to fall apart. They try and get away from using pouring medium because water's obviously cheaper, but I find that if you just use paint and water, you may get this effect, but it'll fall apart as it dries and you won't have anything. This should stay pretty good. You can see it's not moving right now. I expect it to stay put, at least about 90% of it. Some of the cells may grow a little bit, but basically what you're seeing here should be what the dried painting looks like. So, if you're stuck in a color rut and you can't decide what colors to use, sometimes you can get overwhelmed by all the color choices. You get excited. Color's beautiful. Everybody's attracted to it. But look how classic this black and white painting is. So I hope this video gives you some ideas, and I hope you will subscribe, leave some comments, ask me questions. I try to answer questions, and I appreciate the response I've had. So we'll see you in the next video.